Section 120. Vaishampayana said, Pandu, possessed of great energy, then devoted himself to ascetism. Within a short time, he became the favorite of the whole body of the Siddhas and Charanas residing there. And O Bharata, devoted to the service of his spiritual masters, free from vanity, with mind under complete control, and the passions fully subdued, the prince, becoming competent to enter heaven by his own energy, attained to great ascetic prowess. Some of the rishis would call him brother, some friend, while others cherished him as their son. And O bull of Bharata's race, having acquired after a long time great ascetic merit, coupled with complete singleness, Pandu became even like a Brahma rishi, though he was a Kshatriya by birth. On a certain day of the new moon, the great rishis of rigid vows assembled together, and desirous of beholding Brahman, were on the point of starting on their expedition. Seeing them about to start, Pandu asked those ascetics, saying, Hey, first of eloquent men, where shall we go? The rishis answered, There will be a great gathering today in the abode of Brahman of celestials, rishis and pitris, desirous of beholding the self-create. We shall go there today. Vaishampayana continued. Hearing this, Pandu rose up suddenly, desirous of visiting heaven along with great rishis, accompanied by his two wives. When he was on the point of following the rishis in the northerly direction from the mountain of 100 peaks, those ascetics addressed him, saying, In our northward march, while gradually ascending the king of mountains, we have seen on its delightful breast many regions inaccessible to ordinary mortals, retreats also of the gods, Gandharvas and Apsaras, with palatial mansions by hundreds, clustering thick around and resounding with the sweet notes of celestial music, the gardens of Kuvera laid out on even and uneven grounds, banks of mighty rivers and deep caverns. There are many regions also on those heights that are covered with perpetual snow and are utterly destitute of vegetable and animal existence. In some places the downpour of rain is so heavy that they are perfectly inaccessible and incapable of being utilized for habitation, not to speak of other animals. Even winged creatures cannot cross them. The only thing that can go there is air, and the only beings, Siddhas and great rishis. How shall these princesses ascend those heights of the king of mountains, unaccustomed to pain? Shall they not droop in affliction? Therefore come not with us, O bull of Bharata's race. Pandu replied, Ye fortunate ones, it is said that for the sunless there is no admittance into heaven. I am sunless. In affliction I speak unto you. We, whose wealth is asceticism, I am afflicted because I have not been able to discharge the debt I owe to my ancestors. It is certain that with the dissolution of this my body, my ancestors perish. Men are born on this earth with 4 debts, those due unto the deceased ancestors, the gods, the rishis, and other men. In justice, these must be discharged. The wise have declared that no regions of bliss exist for them that neglect to pay these debts in due time. The gods are paid, gratified by sacrifices, the rishis by study, meditation, and asceticism, the deceased ancestors by begetting children and offering the funeral cake, and lastly other men by leading a humans and inoffensive life. I have justly discharged my obligations to the rishis, the gods, and other men. But those others, then these 3 are sure to perish with the dissolution of my body. Ye ascetics, I am not yet freed from the debt I owe to my deceased ancestors. the best of men are born in this world to beget children for discharging that debt. I would ask you, should children be begotten in my soil upon my wives, as I myself was begotten in the soil of my father by the eminent Rishi? The Rishi said, O king of virtuous soul, there is progeny in store for thee, that is sinless and blessed with good fortune, and like unto the gods. We behold it all with our prophetic eyes. Therefore, O tiger among men, accomplish by your own acts that which destiny pointeth at. Men of intelligence, acting with deliberation, always obtain good fruits. It behoveth thee, therefore, O king, to exert thyself. The fruits thou wouldst obtain are distinctly visible. Thou wouldst really obtain accomplished and agreeable progeny. Vasampayana continued, hearing these words of the ascetics, Pandu, remembering the loss of his procreative powers owing to the curse of the deer, began to reflect deeply, and calling his wedded wife, the excellent Kunti, unto him, he told her in private, Strive thou to raise offspring at this time of distress. The wise expounders of the eternal religion declare that a son, O Kunti, is the cause of virtuous fame in the three worlds. It is said that sacrifices, charitable gifts, ascetic penances, and vows observed most carefully do not confer religious merit on a sonless man. O thou of sweet smiles, knowing all this, I am certain that as I am sonless, I shall not obtain regions of true felicity. O timid one, wretch that I was, and addicted to cruel deeds, as a consequence of the polluted life I led, my power of procreation had been destroyed by the curse of the deer. The religious institutes mention 6 kinds of sons that are heirs and kinsmen, and 6 other kinds that are not heirs but kinsmen. I shall speak of them presently. O Pritha, listen to me. They are first, the son begotten by one's own self upon his wedded wife. Second, the son begotten upon one's wife by an accomplished person from motives of kindness. Third, the son begotten upon one's wife by a person for pecuniary consideration. Fourth, the son begotten upon the wife after the husband's death. Fifth, the maiden born son. Sixth, the son born of an unchaste wife. Seventh, the son given. Eighth, the son bought for a consideration. Ninth, the son self-given. 10th, the son received with a pregnant bride. 11th, the brother's son. And 12th, the son begotten upon a wife of lower caste, on failure of offspring of a prior class. The mother should desire to have offspring of the next class. In times of distress, men solicit offspring from accomplished younger brothers. The self-born Manu hath said that men failing to have legitimate offspring of their own may have offspring begotten upon their wives by others. For sons confer the highest religious merit. Therefore, O Kunti, being destitute myself of the power of procreation, I command thee to raise good offspring through some person who is either equal or superior unto me. O Kunti, listen to the history of the daughter of Sarada Taradandeyana, who was appointed by her lord to raise offspring. That warrior dame, when her monthly season arrived, bathed duly and in the night went out and waited on a spot where 4 roads met. She did not wait long when a Brahmana, crowned with ascetic success, came there. The daughter of Taradandeyana solicited him for offspring. After pouring libations of clarified butter on the fire, In the performance of the sacrifice known by the name of Pungasavana, she brought forth 3 sons that were mighty car warriors, and of whom Durjaya was the eldest, begotten upon her by that Brahmana. O thou of good fortune, do thou follow that warrior dame's example at my command, and speedily raise offspring out of the seed of some Brahmana, any of high ascetic merit. Thus ends the 120th section in the Sambhava Parva of the Adi Parva.